The secretary told me that 40% of our country's economic growth has stemmed from innovation. Children in the Tempe district were among the first to start learning about conserving this magical resource. The lawmakers passed 2 bills this legislative session that will have your phone ringing more often. Trainers here today said one of the most important things they teach is communication. Of the 30 people that have been hired to hold these signs, about half of them have received better medical care. Lawmakers here at the Capitol still question the urgency behind climate change. The debate will likely continue until at least midnight tonight. In 2012, 530 accidents involved bicycles citywide. That's a 10% increase from just 4 years ago. The bill passed late this afternoon by a vote of 7-0. Live in the First Amendment Forum, live in the Broadcast Center, live in downtown Phoenix, Hannah Lawrence, Cronkite News. Scientists say Arizona could face a water crisis in less than 25 years. That's prompted a Valley company to put a twist on educating the younger generation about conserving this precious resource. And it's quite magical.
I call kids that like to save water hydro heroes.
Why hydro heroes?
Hydro, well, that means water. And heroes, well, because they rescue it.
Magician Gary Lazok brings magic into schools to teach water conservation.
What magic does is it opens the mind.
And the woman behind the show uses that to her advantage.
The point and the magic happen at the same time so that there's some sort of emotional connection in the brain. And every time they think of water conservation, they think, oh, fun.
Kathy Whalen has been producing her magic shows for 25 years after teaching water conservation became a state requirement in 1980.
Can you write us a show on water conservation? And I'm like, wow, that sounds boring, you know. So I spiced it up with the magic.
Children in the Tempe district were among the first to start learning about conserving this magical resource. Now, 4 Arizona cities have joined Tempe in funding magicians to talk to children about an issue that's becoming more and more urgent.
Wow! All these young kids that we're teaching now are going to grow up and be the residents in the future.
And the kids are in turn teaching their parents.
And the parents would come up to me and say, oh, you're the one who told them I'm not allowed to water the yard in the middle of the day. You're the one who told them I can't take long showers.
It's all part of training the next generation of Hydro Heroes. Hydro Heroes is currently being taught in more than 200 schools in Arizona year-round. It's arguably a very difficult song to sing, but not for this New York woman. I met the national anthem girl yesterday when she was in Phoenix performing at the Orpheum Theater.
She's known as the Anthem Girl. She is traveling the country to sing the national anthem in all 50 states.
Janine Stang came up with her star-spangled idea as she was rushing to a performance.
I ran to the front of the line, I looked at the gatekeeper and I was like, you have to let me in, I'm the national anthem girl. And I remember in my head, I was like, that's a cool name.
And her mission was born. Stang has now sung in 23 states and has 12 more booked. That leaves only 15 to go to reach her goal of singing in all 50 states by the song's birthday on September 14th. Stang books, promotes, travels, and currently funds her own project, but she can take tax-deductible donations. And when Stang isn't on stage, she runs a printing company. She made these cards to be signed by the crowd and sent to servicemen and women.
No matter who you voted for, no matter what team you want to win, we're all one, and there's power when we're one.
She wants to sing in 50 states, but it's still all one country. In America, Hannah Lawrence, Cronkite News. Laura Tohe learned to speak Navajo from her father, who also spoke it as part of his service to our country.
It wasn't until 1983 that I learned my father had been a code talker.
Benson Tohe was part of the elite Marine Corps radio operators whose code was never broken by the Japanese in World War II. They were sworn to secrecy for decades afterwards in case their skills were needed again. Now Arizona legislators are pushing a bill that would make Navajo Code Talkers Day a state-observed holiday.
The legacy of the Code Talkers, I think, is very important, and I'm not just talking about the Navajo Code Talkers, but there were other tribal people who used their native languages during World War I and II.
Back in 2007, the Hopi tribe was upset when lawmakers passed legislation to build this statue, one that honors Navajo Code Talkers. The bill's sponsor, Senator Carlyle Begay, also speaks Navajo but recognizes the contributions of other tribes.
As the bill moves forward, I would be very open to perhaps changing it and maybe just say Code Talker Day.
Tohi was so intrigued by her father's service that she wrote a book that shares 30 other Code Talker stories. Navajos say the preservation of their language is crucial to maintaining their identity. The Arizona legislature may soon honor them for their military contributions as well. In Phoenix, Hannah Lawrence, Cronkite News.